Yeah, so my name is Jerry. What I was dealing with a lot of lower back pain, and this has been going on for me for quite a while now. I would say on and off for anywhere from 3 to 4 years. And it was a injury that I suffered in February, this past February, that led me to seek out treatment at Cornerstone Health. So I've been dealing with it more acutely for about 4 months prior to seeking treatment. Yeah, so when I first sought out Cornerstone, I didn't necessarily have any hesitation. I've received physical therapy from a lot of different clinics. It wasn't until I think maybe my second or third session in, Dr. Fergus recommended me to work in like a class setting with his trainer Denny, and that's where some of my hesitancy came up. But Dr. Fergus was pretty persistent and persuasive for the most part, so I took his advice, joined in on the class, and I was really happy that I did so. I learned a lot. Denny was able to supervise me on various techniques and I guess weightlifting movements that I've done for a lot of my life, and he was able to help me with some of those adjustments, or he adjusted a lot of my form and technique, so it's really helpful. Yeah, so I mentioned a little bit previously, I do a lot of, well, I like to weightlift, do a lot of sports activities as well, and for the most part just remain active. But one of the areas of my life that I saw a lot of improvement was just in my technique, in my form. I think that was having poor technique and form in the past was what led me to suffer a lot of the lower back injuries, and thus being here, receiving some of the treatment from Dr. Fergus, and then Denny was the one who kind of like ran me through some movements, actually coached me through, very step-by-step, very meticulous, and that's what helped me in my ability to lift properly. And from there, I've just noticed that like I felt stronger, I felt better, more confident as well, and not feeling like I'm always going to be prone or susceptible to some sort of injury. So that's definitely a huge improvement in my quality of life and lifting. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm still in what I would say in like a recovery period. I'm nowhere near, I guess, the weight amount that I used in the past, but having gone through the movements, I don't feel any of the same amounts of pain or in the same areas or regions that I did in the past. And so I'm more confident now as I progress through the movements, as I progress through adding more weights from session to session, and I'm not, thinking twice about, am I gonna suffer an injury if I add X amount of pounds to the next lift. Yeah, so when I first talked to Dr. Fergus, well, even prior to that, I was recommended to Cornerstone Health by a trusted friend of mine, and he basically told me that Cornerstone has a very holistic approach. And for me, I have suffered numerous injuries across my body, and when I heard holistic, I was like, oh, I'm sure my lower back is connected to a lot of different areas of my, with my legs or my ankles or my upper body. And hearing that, I figured this is a little bit different than just, say, spot treating a particular region of my body. And so I went in, talked to Dr. Fergus, and he really took the time to listen to not just my lower back pain, but also just kind of dissect the rest of my physiology and to see where all the dots and the points may line up. And so it felt like he was trying to thoroughly diagnose me, and I felt really cared for. And I think the kind of like the partnership that he and Denny have, they like supplement each other really well. Yeah, I think for me, I kind of identify with that. I've done weightlifting for a while. Was always too stubborn or prideful to really seek out like a personal trainer, or I guess in this case, a physical trainer slash physical therapist. I think for anyone who resonates with that, I would just say, take a leap of faith, give it a shot. For me, I learned so much, and just to have a trained professional alongside me and being able to spot me and to see like the smallest little things, even for me, the most minor adjustments made very significant changes and improvements to my lifting abilities. And so I would just say, for anyone who's done this for a while, don't be afraid. You'll be surprised at what you'll learn. Yeah, I'm just really grateful for just the treatment that I've received here. You can feel the amount of thought and detail, or the level of detail that Dr. Fergus, goes into for his clinic. And so I'm just really glad that I had the opportunity to come here.